Good day everyone. I'm Melody Saltat from BZ3 Filipino. Let's talk about the indigenous education in a way that easy to understand. Indigenous education is all about teaching and learning that honors the cultures, traditions, and histories of indigenous peoples. It's an approach that values the unique perspectives and knowledge system of indigenous communities. Kapag sinabing indigenous education, ito yung sistema ng edukasyon ng mga katutubo para i-preserve yung mga cultures na meron sila, also mga tradition na gusto pa nila ipamana sa susunod na generation. Imagine you are learning about the world through the eyes of ancestors. That's what indigenous education is all about. It's a way of passing down knowledge, stories, traditions from one generation to the next. Yes, it's passing down knowledge para mas tumibay yung edukasyon ng mga bata sa kanilang komunidad. Indigenous education is important because it helps preserve indigenous cultures and languages, empower indigenous communities to take control of their own education, promote understanding and respect between indigenous and non-indigenous peoples, support academic success and well-being indigenous system. It's not just about academics. It's about cultural preservation, community, and identity. By recognizing and valuing indigenous education, we can work towards a more inclusive and equitable society. Ang indigenous education ay hindi lang nakabase sa academic, but actually nakatuon talaga sila sa kasaysayan ng kanilang cultures and tradition for them to recognize their identity. Indigenous education faces several challenges, including cultural erasures. Indigenous cultures and knowledge system are often marginalized or erased in mainstream education. And number two is language barriers. Indigenous language may not be supported or recognized in education systems. Sa ganitong sistema ng edukasyon, kadalasan walang supported ang government kasi hindi naman hawak ng DepEd ang kanilang mga curriculum or higher education ng kanilang curriculum. Historical trauma, the legacy of colonization, forced assimilation, and residential schools continues to impact indigenous communities. And for number 4, lack of resources. Indigenous education often faces challenges related to funding, infrastructure, and access to resources. Nagkukulang sa mga facilities kasi sarili nilang education system ang kanilang pinapaaral sa mga bata sa kanilang komunidad. So, hindi hawak ng gobyerno ang kanilang sistema. Number 5 is cultural mismatch. Mainstream education system may not align with indigenous cultural values and practices. Ang kanilang edukasyon ay hindi akma sa kung ano ang pinag-aaralan natin kasi pang-international level ang kalidad ng edukasyon sa atin. Sa kanila, may sarili silang curriculum na in terms of cultures and tradition lang ang inaaral. So, teacher training. Educators may not receive adequate training to effectively teach indigenous students or incorporate indigenous perspectives. Karaniwan pa sa kanila, not fit in education talaga. They're not knowledgeable enough to teach kasi nga po, more traditional and cultures lang ang tinuturo, not in higher quality education like in DepEd. Number 7 is curriculum relevance. Curricula may not reflect indigenous histories, cultures, or experiences. Number 8 is systemic racism. Indigenous students may face systemic racism and bias in education system. These challenges can make it difficult for indigenous students to succeed for indigenous communities to preserve their cultures and languages. So, I am Melody Saltat.